The tray of dirty dishes slammed onto the counter, splashing cold water onto his uniform. Laughter erupted behind him, not friendly, not harmless, but sharp and deliberate. "Enjoy scrubbing, hero," one voice jeered. Another chimed in, "Guess. The battlefield wasn't tough enough for you." Private Daniel Reed didn't respond. He simply gripped the sponge tighter, the knuckles of his calloused hand turning pale. Punishment. That's what they called it. Kitchen duty for a soldier who had dared to speak up during training. To them, it was humiliation. To him, it was a test. But they didn't know what he knew. And he didn't know what awaited him either. Did he looked younger than most of them, barely 20, but his eyes told a different story. There was weight in them, the kind that doesn't come from years, but from moments that carve a person hollow, and then force them to keep walking. The smell of bleach burned his nose as he scrubbed harder, each motion slow and steady, each scrape echoing against the metal sink that a year ago, Daniel had stood in a desert half a world away, carrying a friend's final words in his chest like shrapnel. He had promised himself he would never waste anger on things that didn't matter. Yet here he was, forced into silence again, though for a different kind of war, a quieter one. The others didn't see the quiet hero who had dragged 3 wounded men to safety under fire. They saw only a boy with dishwater on his sleeves. But Daniel wasn't thinking of them. He was thinking of the man who used to tell him, "Strength isn't what they see. It's what you carry when no one's looking." His father, Daniel's father, had been gone for 5 years. A construction worker by trade, he had poured his life into building things that would outlast him. Daniel never knew the details of his last project. The old man never liked to boast. He just came home each night with dust in his hair and a tired smile that said, "One day, you'll understand what it means to build something that matters." Daniel wiped down the counters. His gaze drifted to the walls of the base. Thick steel beams, reinforced pillars, the subtle slope of the roof designed to withstand storms. Something about it felt familiar. He shook off the thought. The disrespect grew louder each day. Plates tossed his way without a glance. Orders barked like he wasn't wearing the same uniform they were. Even the officers ignored it, too comfortable to notice the injustice simmering under their command. But Daniel never flinched. Silent dignity became his shield. And in his silence, small things began to shift. A few soldiers watched him work, with quiet confusion. One even whispered, "Why doesn't he fight back?" Then came inspection day. A high-ranking colonel arrived, walking with the measured confidence of someone who had seen enough battles to value the things others overlooked. As he toured the base, his gaze paused on the walls, then on Daniel, sleeves rolled up, scrubbing a table with patient precision. "You," the colonel said finally, eyes narrowing not in disdain, but in recognition. "What's your name?" "Reed." "Sir," Daniel replied softly. The colonel's expression changed. He scanned the room, then the beams above. His voice carried through the mess hall like a blade cutting silence. "Do you all even know whose hands built this place you're standing in?" Confusion rippled through the crowd. "This base," the colonel continued, "was designed and constructed by Thomas Reed, a man who refused to cut corners, who worked double shifts so you'd have a place strong enough to protect you when the worst comes." All eyes turned to Daniel. The colonel stepped closer, lowering his voice but not his authority. "And that man's son now scrubs your tables." No one laughed this time. Shame settled heavy and thick, like a fog that wouldn't lift. Daniel didn't gloat. He simply straightened his posture, wiped his hands on his apron, and spoke the words his father once told him. "Strength isn't loud. It's built, brick by brick, until it can hold the weight of everyone else." The colonel nodded. "Promote him," he ordered. And just like that, the power shifted. Not with noise, not with anger, but with silent honor that none of them could ignore. Daniel walked out of the kitchen, heads bowed in respect. He didn't need an apology. The moment itself was enough, because sometimes the ones they try to break are the very ones holding everything together. Where are you watching this from? And what does silent strength mean to you? Share your thoughts below, and subscribe for more stories that honor those who carry their battles quietly, yet change everything around them.